With the election only a week away, what are the student parties doing to prepare?
Native American studies have been banned in Tucson schools.
And what danger caused a UA library evacuation? All this and more tonight.
This is Wildcast.
Good evening and welcome to another edition of Wildcast. I'm Sarah Canty.
And I'm Max Efron. Thanks for joining us tonight. Students are being politically proactive on campus in preparation for the coming election. With 1 week left, political clubs on campus turn their focus to get as many students informed as possible about the candidates. The College Republicans Club stays involved with the political candidates through phone banking, setting up street signs, and focusing on getting continued involvement. They also table on the mall every Monday and Wednesday for students to sign up, support the cause, or voice their opposing views. College Republicans Club Secretary Grace Varney says that with 1 week left until the election, their goal is to make sure every student on campus votes on November 6th.
It's kind of like crunch time now, so it's time for people to really go online, do their research. If they see a proposition or a candidate that they're not so sure about, it's really time for them to go. And sometimes people are calling the candidates, seeing what they're all about. That's really important. It's also important for them just use your ways to research. Go online, go on the internet, and get more involved about it.
Tucson Unified School District's ban on its ethnic studies program has been a heavily debated controversy within Tucson over the past 2 years. With TUSD governing board elections coming up, this heated topic is at the forefront of public discussion. Wildcast reporter Nikki O'Shea tells us of how one local activist pushing for the reinstatement of this program goes about getting his message across to the community. Nikki?
New Mexico native Jake Frawa strives to give voice to those who are not heard. Rather than picketing outside City Hall, his protests are seen on large buildings, what we know as graffiti. But going beyond the lines and letters, Frawa creates art to voice messages.
You can't just be an artist and not an activist in that life way or that career. You have to be both, because if not, your art is irrelevant, your art isn't vital, your art means nothing.
During the dispute to ban ethnic studies in the Tucson Unified School District, Jake Frawa found the perfect canvas, right here behind us, to protest on. The mural is called Can't Ban History. Books and curriculum pertaining to ethnic studies in TUSD have recently been banned. Former TUSD teacher Yolanda Sotelo is frustrated with the legislation, but relieved that artists like Jake paint lasting public protests.
This kind of mural will, hopefully, people will look at it and say, oh yeah, this is about this issue, or they'll ask, why is this? Maybe they'll want to become educated on the issue.
American Indian Studies graduate, student, and friend of Frawa's, Gavin Healy, truly sees this art aesthetically portraying a community's history.
That's not the angry rhetoric that you can get with social movement. I think it's a beautiful way to display an agenda or an issue to people who may be oblivious or may even have a certain position on it, but can still enjoy the community, what this art can do for the community and for the surroundings of an area.
But in Sotelo's mind, having a culturally diverse community does not correlate with ignoring it in the classroom.
The message is, it is the history, the literature of our indigenous past, of our indigenous present, and the kids aren't being given the opportunity to read the literature that they can best connect to or relate to.
Through his struggle as an American Indian artist and activist, Frawa is reminded that he is part of an influential movement, especially from Can't Ban History's positive feedback.
Sometimes when I am feeling bad, down on myself, those voices come back. I'm like, oh, well, I can't be like that, because I have to keep going. There's actually people who do believe in me, or do believe in the work that I do.
Reporting from downtown for Wildcast, I'm Nikki O'Shea.
Stay tuned for news on Hurricane Sandy.
Hello, and welcome to UA Tonight.
We are your hosts. No way. No.
It's okay, you don't have to cut me off.
No way.
I'm
Thank
literally
you so
obsessed.
much. makes
All
that
these
easy.
travelers, I've never even been there. For drunk driving after calling the cops on himself.
We thought that, you guys.
Oh my
God!
Hurricane Sandy is literally raining on the election's parade. Just 1 week remaining until the big election, and President Obama and Republican presidential candidate Mitt Romney both suspended their campaign appearances due to the massive storm. Former President Bill Clinton is expected to campaign on Obama's behalf for the next week. Governor Romney fulfilled a couple of appearances in Ohio and Iowa on Monday, but canceled all appearances today. It has been suggested that Sandy may affect the early votes and hinder access to the polls on Election Day. We'll be sure to keep you updated on that. But you can still vote here in Tucson at a number of places if you are an Arizona registered voter. To find voter information and a recorder's office near you, visit the Secretary of State website at www.azsos.gov/election. So, Sarah, I understand you're from Connecticut, right? Yeah, so how's the family?
My parents actually got really lucky because we didn't lose power and they were fine. Last year during Irene, a tree actually went into our roof.
Oh my gosh.
So compared to that, we were really lucky. But my family actually in New York City on City Island, which is right across from Lower Manhattan, completely flooded. They had to be evacuated. So it's quite the mess out there. So.
Well, hopefully all is well now.
A scare at the UA library. A man carrying a knife created chaos last week. Reporter Liza Pluto has the story.
Property theft, assault, and random acts of violence are just some of the crimes students are subjected to. Criminal behavior seems to be more apparent, and it is vital to be aware of the proper safety precautions around campus. Just the other day, U of A student Sarah Morvay was studying at the main library and was a witness to horrific criminal behavior.
Some random guy just walking around the library, and I noticed a knife in his hand, and apparently he was going up to everyone saying, "Where is she? Where is she?" Apparently looking for his girlfriend. Then the police came and evacuated the whole library, and he was resisting arrest and got taken out on his hands and knees, and I'm not sure what happened after that, but it was really scary.
University of Arizona police officer Joe Bermudez shares his insight on upholding safety and, in general, what safety measures students should take.
Pepper spray is allowed. Anyone can carry that for their protection. The main thing for anyone on campus to be safe is just being aware of your surroundings. That is the main thing. Knowing who's around you and what's around you. Paying attention, looking around when you're walking through campus. Not updating your Facebook page or texting on your cell phone.
In addition, students should always be alert and aware of their surroundings, but some crimes are simply unexpected.
Remember to report any and all suspicious behavior. For Wildcast, I'm Liza Pluto.
Remember us telling you about new security procedures at the library. This incident happened during the day, so the new security procedures did not apply. But if you're headed to the library at night, you now have to swipe your CAT card to get in after 9 p.m. This is a change from an earlier procedure that made you swipe in at midnight. UAPD says the increased security for 3 hours is helping.
It accounts for the people that are actually entering the building, and it does help with safety because the staff knows that the people that are entering that building are university affiliated.
You can find out more online. We will give you the latest news updates, answer your questions, and post challenges on our Facebook page.
Coming up, how Pima County Library is getting kids and dogs to read.
I'm Derek Williams, your former U of A Wildcat. You're watching UA TV. Don't change the channel.
I'll be right there.
Thanks, cameraman. You're my hero.
Welcome back to Wildcast. October is National Book Month. Some Tucson kids celebrate all year by nuzzling up to their favorite furry creature. Wildcast reporter Chelsea Wold tells us how one local program has gone to the dogs.
Sometimes the best people to read to are not people at all. Sometimes they have paws, a wet nose, and a tail. Man's best friend also doubles for a perfect listener when reading a book, and Pima County Public Library makes this possible in a program that promotes literacy called Read to a Dog.
Well, Read to a Dog is a great opportunity for kids who are learning to read or just pretending to read in a way, to feel comfortable, and because a dog is not going to judge them.
Reading can intimidate some children. A dog can provide the confidence kids need to become better readers. Almost every day at a different Pima County Library branch, children have a chance to read to a dog. There is no age limit when it comes to reading to a dog. A child does not even need to know how to read. No language barrier exists either. All that is needed is a bond between human and canine.
You know, when you have English as your second language, you know, reading can really be a struggle and frustrating, but having a dog there just really helps relax you and not feel like you're being criticized for every little mistake that you're making.
No criticism is ever given. Nothing but a few licks is all that will ever leave the mouths of these library dogs. Well, except for maybe the occasional high five.
They come to the door, but they wind up getting into reading.
Seldom do you ever see dogs being read to in the library, but if you do, be sure to turn an ear to listen to the sound of learning. A fuzzy face, soft eyes, and a warm heart make for not only a good dog, but a good reading pal as well. Reporting for Wildcast, I'm Chelsea Wold.
It can be hard to eat right in college. The food fair on Wednesday showed students how to eat nutritious and sustainable food. Wildcast reporter Alicia Mendel tells us more.
The U of A held a food fair on Wednesday to promote healthy and sustainable living for students. It gave information on how to eat healthier on campus and in the local Tucson community.
The food fair benefits us by just giving us the opportunity to contact the public. Our goal at Plant-Based Nation is to go into the public and educate them on the health benefits of a plant-based lifestyle. I get to talk to students and discuss the benefits of living a healthy lifestyle.
Food Day is a national celebration that celebrates a healthy eating lifestyle. Several chefs came to the food fair to give cooking demonstrations and show students how to make healthy and affordable meal choices.
I tried new ingredients from local gardens and places that I never would have considered prior to coming here.
In addition to the free samples that were offered to students, there was also live music and vendors that promoted their companies and what healthy options that they have that are available for students.
Well, hopefully it educates them on the great choices we have available within the student unions. From the San Rafael Valley grass-fed beef to the sustainable Santa Monica seafood program, we're very proud of the choices we have that are local, sustainable, and good for you.
By being away from home, many students do not eat the nutritional foods that they are supposed to. It is the first time that many students make diet decisions on their own and are exploring different eating options.
They're away from mom and dad's opinions on food, so we want to really introduce them to a more sustainable, healthy way of eating that hopefully they'll carry on through the rest of their lives.
It teaches us that cooking doesn't have to be a huge ordeal, and just because we're students doesn't mean that we should avoid cooking.
Eating healthy can be a very difficult thing to do on campus, but the food fair offered several alternatives to always eating on campus and what foods are healthy to eat and easy to make. Reporting from the U of A Mall, for Wildcast, I'm Alicia Mendel.
Thanks, Alicia. Another treat was Wildcat domination over those Trojans in football this weekend. Our Wildcast sports reporter Lauren Weinberg is here to tell us what this victory means for us. Lauren?
Thank you, guys. And may I say, what a weekend in sports. The football team inched their way into the top 25 rankings after defeating 9th-ranked USC 39-36. Matt Scott went 27 for 50, dishing out 369 pass yards, along with rushing for 100 of his own. Austin Hill had nothing short of a standout game, with 10 receptions for 259 yards. Junior linebacker Marquise Flowers earned the title Pac-12 Defensive Player of the Week as well. The Cats are now ranked number 24 and head to California to take on number 25 UCLA this weekend. Also, the women's soccer team defeated Utah in double overtime Sunday afternoon, 2-1. Next, they head to Sun Devil territory to take on ASU this Friday. That's it for me tonight. Have a great weekend, everyone, and bear down. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Lauren.
What a great game.
I know, I was really excited. I didn't think we could pull it off.
But from all of us here at UATV, thanks for joining us. You can watch us anytime online at uatv.arizona.edu.
We'll see you back here next week for another edition of Wildcast.